third training camp report. All right. So let's go over this here. Let's talk about the game that we had last week here. I knew I was going to do it. So let's talk about this game that we had here as well. The Ravens here getting down with it. So first preseason game of the season, the 2026 season. Ravens are now in playing season, preseason, 2 more preseason games left, having practices this week with the Minnesota Vikings, which is very cool. Also, game this week with Minnesota, 1 more with the Commanders after this next week. So we'll go ahead and check that out. Let's talk about what happened on Saturday night. We'll talk about the practices as well. Jacoby Lane, we've been talking about Jacoby Lane being the star of camp. He made a very impressive Ravens debut. The rookie finished with a 16-yard touchdown catch, three catches, 38 yards, adding a touchdown. Even more excitement what he could bring to Baltimore's offense. Put that myself, right? If I do say so. All right. So Jacoby Lane in the game. When you have a guy with good practices, well, I've said a couple times at training camp, the practices mean more than the actual game. Guys make the team if they're on the bubble or increased playing time or guys like that, based on what they do in practice every day, especially get the ones and all that, etc. So also the main thing you look for in this situation is the practice field going to translate to the field? And it absolutely has with Jacoby Lane. Jacoby Lane looked very good in his first start. I thought Jacoby Lane was outstanding there as well. Jacoby Lane definitely, too, lived up to the hype. So we're definitely happy about everything we saw there. Definitely, to me, clearly right now, he's the number 3 receiver going forward. Tyler Loop, uneven in the preseason opener, missed a 49-yard field goal, bouncing back with it. Makes it unfair to compare him to Justin Tucker. Clearly, that's an impossible standard, and Loop deserves a chance to build his own legacy in Baltimore. Put that like that because, look, I was the one that came on this camera and said that, look, when he missed the field goal, I wish it was Justin Tucker. And I think a lot of us are as just fans wishing it was Justin Tucker. Still here and wish we had to go Justin Tucker. But you know what? Justin Tucker's retired or gone or he's not coming back. And that's just how it goes. Tucker is done. Maybe he'll come play with another team. Maybe we'll see him. But Tucker is not here. This is the real world of NFL kicking. Tyler Loop is a plain old ordinary, kicker. Throughout the Ravens history, we've never really had that. We've had Matt Stover before him, who was, I wouldn't say at the very top of the league at the time in most of his prime, but near the top, very consistent for years and years. Pretty much an autopilot like you had with Justin Tucker. As he got older, he couldn't kick those long kicks anymore. Then he went ahead and retired as well. Billy Cundiff came out for a year, I think, as well. Everybody remembers Billy Cundiff missing the field goal in New England. But before that, he had a Pro Bowl season. So he was really good that year. Outside of that, didn't make it through camp, got cut with Justin Tucker, and the rest is history. Tucker, up until his last year, again, like a lot of older kickers, was very, very good. We'll see now how Tyler Loop does. Definitely the faith has been put in by Jesse Minter. Jesse Minter is not – there's no kicking competition. It'll be Tyler Loop at the start of the season as well. So we will see about that. But I think a lot of us need to just calm down. You're going to get a human being here now, kicker. Vega Ione was one of the bright spots for the Ravens, showing strong pass protection and comfortable in his first NFL action This is not what they got from Daniel Falele. Saying I only look like an immediate upgrade is an understatement. Look, Roger Rosengarten is thrilled what he's getting from him. And he didn't play a lot in the game. He only played about the first series or so. It's all you need to see. Guy looks, I mean, to say it's better than Falele, it's just not even funny. I mean, that's absolutely a fact that this guy is the real deal from what we've seen. Going with the ones, actually pulling him out early. That's a guy that's all in with that as well. Funny, we talk about Falele. Falele again looked bad again. Nightcap got him again this week. I put him on fish fillet, and he was apparently, and I just saw it, that he was traded to the Jags. So John Harbaugh, even he's at this point seen enough of that. It should have been a long time ago, frankly. He doesn't have, Harbs doesn't have the cachet that he had in Baltimore, right? You're going to have to make some, you're going to have to do some, you can't have that, a guy who's just obviously not any good. Adam Randall had a solid preseason debut, showing he can make plays both running and catching the football out of the backfield. Meanwhile, a 24th fifth-round pick, Machine only looks increasingly vulnerable in the Ravens' backfield competition. Randall is making a strong case to move ahead of him. Ali, they carried 4 running backs last year. Ali has been hurt, so Randall got most of the carries last night. I don't know if there's a spot for Ali on the football team. Randall, for sure, to me, looks like he's going to make this team. So I'd be surprised, even though he's not that high of a pick. You got Derrick Henry, obviously, is going to be there. Justice Hill with a contract, obviously, is going to be there. And the third one is going to be Adam Randall. If they carry 4, then that gets interesting again. We don't know. I don't know why they carried 4 last year. I don't think you need 4 running backs, active running backs anyway. I don't see that. But you never know. That could be a thing with that. But Ali's been hurt. He's injured. We'll see how that goes as well. And last mark I wrote on the game, Jonte Wester looked solid in the Ravens preseason debut, showing flashes as a receiver and a returner while making the most of his opportunities. Impressive rookie moments. Wester continues to make a strong case for a bigger role on special teams. As a receiver, I think is going to be the question with him, because there's definitely he's going to be the 6th receiver on the team. There are guys ahead of him. So you have Javonte Wester, you have on the team, you have Zay Flowers, you have Rashad Bateman, you have the 2 rookies, Lane and Surratt, and you have Tez Walker. So those are the guys that are ahead of him as well. They like to see a little bit more in preseason from him as a receiver. They like to see a little bit more as a returner. But he looks really good as a returner. I mean, he's got tremendous speed. He looks like some guys look natural as a returner. He looks natural catching the football and everything like that as a returner. He's just got to get better blocking, better instincts. The special teams overall has to play better for him. But I do think that's a thing as well. So those were the bigger points that I definitely hit after the game. Published that on Monday. Definitely to go to Ravori Sports blog. There's more on that as well. Ravorisports.blogspot.com. It's there. It's also on our X page there as well. So what did I think of the game Saturday? I thought this was an excellent start for Jesse Minter. Jesse Minter, obviously, to me, looked good. In my opinion, I thought he looked like guy in charge. He looked like a guy that had been there before. He didn't look like a rookie. He doesn't seem to players really seem to be responding to him here early. Thursday, before the game, the practice, Jesse Minter Jackson continues the progress of the first team offense. Declan Doyle installing a totally new scheme. Israel folks like to say it's a growing process. Doyle, I think, is also been praised here as well. Look, Lamar's got a lot to learn offense, he's starting to pick it up now. He's starting to grasp it. This guy works as hard at football as anybody works at anything. So I definitely have confidence in that, that Lamar will pick it up. And then the offense seems getting better. Reps and everything seems to be getting better and everything there as well. Keon Martin continues to make plays. Keon Martin, rather, plays. Had another interception and stepped in front of Chris Moore on a pass play from quarterback Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley on the 7-on-7 drills. Interesting to see if Chris Moore makes the team. This is a guy who was a former Raven, started his career in a Raven. He's like 33 years old now. It is the same Chris Moore that used to play with us before. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes as well. Tyler Huntley, I think, is the greatest backup quarterback in the history of the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think there's any disputing that. I think he's fantastic a player as we've ever had at the quarterback position outside of the starters. So not worried about that. He's getting a lot of practice also in the new system as well. Trenton Simpson and Roquan Smith are flying downhill, both making tackles in the backfield run plays. Quarterback Broderick Washington, as well as safeties Malachi Starks and Kyle Hamilton. The defense has been really good. I think this is a very, 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 very good defense. I think this is definitely the strength of your team. Keeping guys healthy, I think, is going to be paramount for these next preseason games and during the season, and that's going to be the only thing I think that stops this defense. Trent Roquan, I think, has looked really good in camp. By all accounts, Trent Simpson has looked really good. Trent Simpson, I think, probably will get out the gate as a starter, I think, at this point. Teddy Buchanan is kind of working his way back in, so I think he'll play. But I think the way Trent Simpson looked at the end of last year, the way he's looked in camp, I'm thinking it's going to be Trent Simpson at the start next to Roquan, at least at the start. I don't know about the whole season, but at least at the start. Broderick Washington, probably not starter anymore at this point. We think it's going to be Calais here as well. They're kind of slow walking Calais. It makes all the sense in the world to do that, considering the fact that he is 40 years old. So as good as Calais is, probably going to the Hall of Fame, but he's older. No reason to kill him in camp. And Kyle Hamilton, I think, probably is. The only question is if he can ever win Defensive Player of the Year. Malachi Starks is a great in camp this year. I think we're hoping, obviously, for a big step up from him as well. All right. And let's see one more thing here. I'll go ahead and just share screen here because the one today I didn't get a chance to. Write down here because I had to start earlier, etc. All right. All right, so we're finding out here. News of the day: unfortunate injury to Danny Penny, Danny Pinter, for me say, who seemed to get rolled up on 11-on-11. Teammates were there for several minutes. He had to get carted off the field. Minter did not have immediate update after practice. That's not good. On the very play that Minter went down, replacement center Joe Bova opened up a huge hole in the middle each side, and Vikings rookie Dominique Orange on a ride before tossing him to the turf. Derrick Henry rolled through the open space and got a big game. Pinner, that's not good. Pinner has been the starter, de facto, since the move has been made here as well. I do think it's Ethan Podick. I think I'm saying his last name right. Should start, but a Pinner injury would really open that up. But he had a chance, I think, to start maybe the first game or two, whatever, as well. But that's not what But with the injury, we'll see about that. Baltimore secondary suffocating out through practices, through more details. By the way, these are joint practices with the Vikings. They're going to play this week. I'm not a huge fan of the joint practices, but I get it. Especially at this point, you kind of want to go against somebody else and see. But again, this is a joint practice as well. But almost suffering through practice. However, the battle of physicality up front. The Vikings scored touchdowns and back-to-back drills. First was on Kyler Murray to Justin Jefferson as well, with Marlon Humphrey trailing and Starks getting to the corner a tad too late. Touchdown was a dime by J.J. McCarthy. The price. Conversely, Baltimore's second team offenses were stopped on 2-minute drills. Lamar Jackson hit one with a first down and got out of bounds in back-to-back plays. Tyler Huntley sacked at the end of practice. They're going through real quick. Keon Martin was at the center of the practice's biggest dust-up. It often happens. Vikings, Stephon Armstead stood him up for a while. Keon Martin's always fighting somebody. Tussle between John Simpson, who loves playing against an edge for them, but Lightning ended up on top of the Vikings' back, generally speaking. Both teams were on good behavior. Wiggins was the top practice player in today's game, broke up the pass. That's good. That's no surprise. Good to see Wiggins back on the field after the scare. Marlon Humphrey is well back on the field after a sack on a delayed blitz as well. Defense is good. Offensive notes. Ricky Vega-Ione was stout on passing drills against the defensive linemen, multiple stonewalls against the line of scrimmage as well. During 11-on-11 drills, Ravens were under siege and blitz pressure as well. Andrew Van Ginkel and Dallas Turner, two young Minnesota Vikings here. No notable names, a lot of starters here as well in this. So, yeah. So that's what happened today as well. So that's what happened today. That's the practice report for us this week as well. So let's see if we can find out something about Danny Pinner. Because that was earlier. Carted off the fields, and I don't have any word yet. This was about 4 hours ago. It was the earliest thing I could see, 53 minutes. There hasn't anything said. That's not good. When you that was that's what we all worried about with Nate Wiggins. When you go off on the cart, that's not a good thing. So I don't see anything yet on Pinner. So hopefully he can get back on the field and get back in the center competition as well. I think definitely too. They're going to need all the centers that they can get. Put that in the pocket. So there you go. Ravens third training camp report. Next week, what we're going to do is we're going to predict the final 53. Who makes the roster? Who doesn't make the roster? Who gets cut? Who's going to be on the 53 guys on the field when the season starts? There's going to be a game this week in Minnesota, so definitely check that out.